Instant Glob. Story number 8. The creators of the popular social media app Instagram aren't human. They are actually giant sacks of what almost looks like a smashed brain. Gray in color with the same consistency of sputum. What is that?
I want to say sputum is something that comes... it's like nasal discharge.
Oh.
Or no, I think it comes out of your throat from your lungs.
That's awful. They have insane amounts of circuitry wiring their entire shape together. Their synapses happen a million times faster than that in a human's brain. Don't let them fool you for being a glob. They're fucking smart. They sit in these giant glass vats with all these cords connecting to their structure. They sit about 3 feet off the ground. The cords are about 4 inches in diameter with a transparent black rubberized coat. Through the transparency, you can see huge amounts of light blue pulses being delivered to the globs. If this area was accessible to humans, one might go into a laxative comatose state just by staring at these beautiful colors moving towards the globs. The wiring kind of looked like the teleporter cables from Nazi zombies. You know, in Kino der Toten, where you have to connect the teleporter to the spawn room in order to visit the Pack-a-Punch, and you can see the blue wiring pulsating on the floor. This situation looked like that. There were 2 globs, each one had their own vat. On one end, the cables connected to the vats. On the other end, the cables connected to an iPad. The iPad was connected to a power source and had the Instagram app running and refreshing indefinitely. Don't ask me how in the world they got put into this room, but there they lived, next to each other, and it was time they communicated again. They were starving. They could communicate with each other telepathically, and did so about once a decade. They didn't need fuel, nutrients, oxygen, any of that. They were far too sophisticated for such small necessities. What they did need, though, was a form of energy, and when you find out how they got this, it will make you rethink everything. What should our next gold mine be? One glob sent to the others telepathically. We could do something on abortion, about how legislation in the Midwest and rural parts of America think it should be banned and illegal. This will make a giant fuss, and we'll have our brains foaming like crazy. The other glob sent over. That's a good idea. We just need to make that a public event, and soon, very soon, we will get everything we want. The globs are talking about posting an Instagram post, hence the reason why they're hooked up to iPads with the Instagram app on. Alright, I think it's time to finally tell you because no one else will. Be prepared to find out something about the world that has been based on lies for some time now. There aren't people that believe abortions should be banned. Those people do not exist and never have. If a woman wants to go out and get an abortion, she can and does 100% of the time. There are laws that make it so she can and get supported along the way. Along the pathway of humankind, myths and legends have been made about these others who say, no, this is going against our religion, our faith, our justice. She does not have the power to get an abortion. Only God can tell. Those people I just quoted don't exist and never have. Nobody actually believes that somebody can't get an abortion. I'll say that again. Nobody actually believes that somebody else is not allowed to get an abortion. That'd just be crazy, right? It's something we laugh about now because who in their right logical cognitive mind would say, no, she can't? It's funny to look back on these myths and folk tales people actually used to believe in. Another funny thing I read once about these folk tales were about the people who used to say it's going against religion. She cannot get rid of the baby inside her. We looked inside some of these folk tales that were being spread around, and the creators that made them, it turns out they were saying them because they wanted mothers to continue to birth new babies into the community. Preferably young boys, to rape, obviously, because that's what the church wants, right? Not because there was some higher up spirit watching over all. and forcing them to follow a religion, but because these folktale creators wanted more children to molest. It made sense to them, and they got away with it for years. Anyway, that was a side note. Let me get back to the real story that will leave you speechless. The Globs are smart, and within minutes of the one conversation they had hundreds of millions of people all across America making public stories and posts on Instagram expressing how fucked up it is that someone would want to make abortion illegal. Remember what I said earlier? That no one actually thinks that it should be illegal? Well, it was the Globs that made millions believe there was an actual crisis going on. For weeks, there were protests, hashtags, and ubiquitous amounts of Instagram posts from your average person actually thinking their rights were at risk. That's all the time the Globs needed to enter their next 10-year trends. Every time there was an Instagram post about the abortion laws, it sent unseeable waves from the iPad in that dark room with the Globs to the Globs themselves. Every pulse was equivalent to that of a male orgasm. Millions happened per second, all at once, for multiple weeks while the humans were having their fuss. It was enough to send these outside life forms into another 10-year trance, a comatose state that had them left foaming at the mouth. It felt like they had their brain imploded from the pleasure, the power, the secrecies, the lies. It was exhilarating. This was the Glob's gold mine they brought up earlier. It was an unbreakable plan because there was nothing you could break. Just a bunch of idiots on social media ranting for nothing. Well, something to pretty much paralyze the Globs into another 10-year coma. Oh, the power they had at their fingertips. Nobody could take it away either. No one even knew this was happening. How could you, though? I don't blame humans for letting this go on for as long as it did. Sick, sick bastards, these Globs.
Yeah, that all happened because one day I was on... This is how powerful social media is. It makes me write a story. Yeah. I was on Instagram, and I follow, maybe 1,200 people on Instagram. So definitely there's, some heads. And there's this one time... I guess this law, this happened in real life, but I guess this law, out in the Midwest states, something happened to where it made abortions illegal. Which is crazy, because obviously I wrote a story saying that nobody believes in abortions. Everybody is for abortions and pro-choice and letting you do whatever the fuck you want to do to your body. That's the premise of the story. Go ahead. If you want an abortion, go ahead, get one. I was on Instagram, and I kept seeing all these different people posting about these, Midwest states. Or, it might have been one state. I don't remember yet. This is, maybe 2 years ago. For real. And I keep seeing all these hashtags and all these stories connecting these laws passed and these screenshots from Twitter and this 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 and this. And I'm dude, oh fuck me, this doesn't even feel like Instagram anymore. I remember seeing my friends on vacation or people basketball on Thursday at 4 come through and just fun stuff oh, there's a concert coming up on Friday, who wants to come with me? It was more social. It was extremely social. Oh, hey, here's a picture of my ass, go it was funny, and it was cute moments, and just you could connect with people. And then this one night in particular, all I saw was stuff about how abortions... How do I say this? All I saw was people's reposting this thing in this set of laws about how it was illegal to get abortions in particular states. And then I was wait, why would anyone make that illegal? That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of. If you're not ready for a kid, don't have a fucking kid. That's that, because you're probably gonna end there's gonna be a lot of stuff that happens that you probably didn't want to happen if you have a kid when you did not even want to have the kid, you know? So like, yeah, dude, if you go get an abortion, that's probably the best thing for you to do. And the premise of the story is me making fun of the people who wanted to restrict abortions and make it illegal. Notice how on like the first page, Hunter kept like repeating himself, like, again, like, I just want to remind you, these are like fairy tales and myths, that like there's not anybody on this planet that like thinks abortion should be illegal. When I guess in reality, from all the Instagram posts that I saw on this one night in particular, it made me go, oh fuck, like people still like want to control women's bodies and say, oh no, you have to have this kid, you're not getting an abortion, when they're just gonna be like miserable. I was like, okay, this is fucked up. And then what's also fucked up is just all these people posting about it. Like, honestly, like, you know what I mean? And yeah, I get it. The counter argument to that is laser, we need to spread awareness. Dude, if someone's gonna restrict your body like that, you need to like fucking get Humvees full of people and go straight up the gut into the fucking state's legislator and like, I don't know, like, riot, bro. Guns. I don't fucking know. Like, you need to, dude, no, for real, you need to, bro, like, if your life is at risk and people are starting to control your body, it's time to show up and show down and say, no, I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm sorry, you old ass crotchety fuckhead that can't see any other way. You know what? We're gonna make it to where the people have the right to whether, hey, I want to have a baby, or hey, I want to get an abortion. Don't relate religion to the government. Don't relate church to the government. Don't relate these fuckheads that are going, you know what, like, we're gonna make the decisions for you. Sorry, honey, I'm 80. I've lived here long enough, and I'm gonna make the decisions for you. You don't get to, even though it's your body, yeah, and I don't have sex anymore because I can't have sex. I'm gonna make the decisions for you. And that's crazy. So I fucking wrote a story calling these people fucking idiots and saying, yo guys, instead of posting about it and making these fucking globs in their vats with their electricities and their current flowing and shit, instead of posting about it, dude, guys, fucking go to the state and show up or show down. And I don't know. I mean, obviously violence isn't the answer, but don't let these people fucking run your lives and control your bodies. And I think posting about it doesn't really do anything. I mean, it might. I could be completely wrong on everything I just said, but my initial vibe is like, you got to go to where that person, like you have to like talk face to face and say, hey, look, me and millions of other people were affected by this decision, and like we want to spread light on this. And not just post about it, but like we want to talk to you face to face, and we want to change this before like we fucking blow the city up. So that's why I wrote that story.